Let's fucking go. You are listening to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up. I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand.
And good morning. It is Wednesday. We made it to hump day. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And the other fucking guy at the controls is Leo. Good morning, Leo.
Morning, Troy. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I forgot I got something for you. What's your, are you a Chivas fan?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know
No?
what Chivas is.
Isn't that the name of a Mexican?
Chivas.
Chivas.
Okay, I was like, all right, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
That's how white boys pronounce that shit.
Correct.
So how do I pronounce it now?
Chivas.
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 Yeah. Are you a Chivas fan?
I am.
Then you're going to like what I got.
I love the sound of that. Hell yeah.
Excellent.
I was so concerned at first. He said Chivas, and I was like, "Fuck, this guy got me something. I have no idea what the fuck it is."
And seated right next to Chivas. I'm going to keep trying. Sitting right next to Chivas Leo is Mikey G. Good morning, Mikey G.
Good morning, good sir. How you doing today?
Good. So, yeah, that's actually a good-looking Yankee hat.
Yeah, it's like the game-worn ones that they...
Yeah, I mean...
It's like the replica or whatever, I guess they'll call it.
The old school ones?
No, it's just what they wear in-game. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, it's got a good crown to it that I like. It's clean.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It looks good. What the fuck is... I saw this. This is nuts, man. Because I haven't been... probably the sport I'm following the least right now is baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball. But I saw this pop up, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. The whole American League pretty much sucks dick.
Yeah, I mean, not the whole American League. Like, it's
every team but four?
It's top-heavy, yeah. Well, there's been a fuck ton of
So
injuries.
there's a lot of bottoms in the American League is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very top-heavy right now, but it's because there's a lot of big-name players that got hurt and were missing for a long time. I mean, shit, the Yankees haven't had Aaron Judge, and we're probably pushing 3 months at this point. Now, they're able to weather that storm in other areas with pitching, and, we have timely hitting at times, but, yeah, just a ton of injuries and trades, stuff like that.
Just out of curiosity, how many, because he's not new anymore. He's been around for a while, Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times, just rough guess, has he been out for extended periods?
Quite a few times. I mean, it's
more than you'd like to see.
I mean, it hasn't really been like this. This is like an outlier for sure. He's rarely out for like 3 months or so. I mean,
okay, maybe
like once or twice in the past that he's been out, but he gets like little injuries here and there. He might be out for a few games here, a week or so.
Okay.
It's Giancarlo Stanton is the one that's always out 24/7. Like that dude. He
just comes back for the playoffs.
Pretty much, yeah. And surprisingly enough, he actually does play really well in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
So like, I wish it wasn't like that, but I mean, this is probably going to be his last year as a Yankee because too much money to be not playing. Pretty much, playing a quarter of the season.
Yeah, you don't need a Deshaun Watson on your baseball team.
No, definitely
it doesn't need to be a thing. So. All right. And, yeah, because I think almost all of the National League seems like they're either close to 500 or, at least above 500. But, if they're not above 500, the very worst teams seem like they're pretty darn close.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it was like last season in the AL. The AL had a lot of good teams. It was kind of a dogfight to get to the World Series, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes with injuries and trades. But hey, when the AL and NL played in the All-Star game, the AL shut their asses down. So
Yeah.
it wasn't even. I mean,
Okay.
some would consider that a snoozer for sure, just because of how dominant the AL was.
So out of the 4 good teams, who's the team that's the strongest that you think is the strongest right now?
I mean, they're slept on, and it hurts me to say it, but the Tampa Bay Rays, they don't have like any one major superstar. They just have a lot of guys that they have a really good farm system, really good scouts, and they play smart baseball. And they're always good at pitching, but they're always slept on because they don't really sign guys for a lot of money. They kind of just will trade them if they have to, and then it's next man up for them. And like I said, they just kind of lean on their farm system or maybe finding a hidden gem in a trade when they utilize them well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's who I think is. I mean, they are the 1 seed right now, but people will call me biased. But when Aaron Judge comes back and then Max Fried is healthy again, one of our best pitchers, like I wouldn't want to see us because when it comes to pitching, our bullpen and then our starting pitching from 1 through 5 is arguably the best in the league. When healthy.
Right. Who are the other 2? Do you know?
For
The top 4?
so right now, I mean the Red Sox, and then I think the one other team. Trying to remember the other one. Let me look at the standings real quick.
Yeah, I actually have a Red Sox hat that I
Ugh,
bought
gross.
in the last 9 months, probably. I haven't worn it yet. I've never owned a Red Sox hat, and I've only been to Boston once.
Well, it's yeah,
I got a Baltimore Orioles hat.
gross. I hate all those teams. They're in the AL East.
Well, my neighbor, the one that's traveled, started with the A's and has been on a few teams. It was on Toronto, like 2 years ago when they were in the World Series. He plays for the Orioles.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
I've tried to have the hat of every team he's played for, and I do, except for Toronto, because I hate Canada.
Yeah. So I mean, that's really just the top 3 teams right there. It's just Tampa Bay, the
All right.
Yankees, and the Red Sox. But if you look at it seeding right now, it's Tampa Bay, the White Sox because they're leading their division. The
Yeah, the
Astros,
White Sox.
who are like literally exactly 500, they're in the 3 seed because they're leading their division. That division sucks. Yankees are in the 4 seed, Red Sox in the 5 seed, Guardians in the 6 seed, and they just took that 6 seed like I think yesterday.
And no Guardian fan trusts the Guardians.
No, I mean they've been.
If you
it's
just
been
don't believe
heartbreak.
in, yeah, you're just not going to believe in it.
Yeah,
That's just not going to be a thing. And I will start to watch more definitely during the playoffs, but there's just been so much other stuff going on, the craziness in the WNBA. I believe I looked it up last night. We had an issue last year with the green dildo meme crypto boys. And I don't know if people realize this or not, but let me just spit this out there. It's a true Ponzi scheme. And yes, I know that Trump has a meme coin, okay? It's garbage. It's garbage. If you have one and you've made any amount of money at all, just take it.
Mm-hmm.
Take it while it's still potentially where you can take it at a profit, because it's just they hype it up because there's no basis of value to it. It's all hype value, and you make your money during that hype and you try to ride it as close as you can to the top, but you want to be one of the first 5% out of that thing or you're going to get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
Okay. They shouldn't even be legal. Okay. Yes. And yes, I'm acknowledging Trump family has these stupid meme coins, but they're garbage. It's a garbage investment. If you want to invest in real crypto, do that. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
But these meme coins are like, what the fuck are you talking about? yeah, they are total garbage. So that's
I mean, the way I see it, I agree 100%. But at the same time, if you're putting money into it and buying it and spending your own money on it, like at the end of the day, I think that is kind of on you. Like you can't. There's no way you take that serious. Like
yeah, but the government, and Leo would tell you, dude, when I was in the financial business, and it hasn't changed, it's almost, we're so highly regulated that I used to say we were as regulated as a nuclear power plant. That's how many regulations there are. Because I had actual good investments, some real estate investments that were very, very good. Out of 7 of them, the worst one broke even. All of the other ones doubled their money or more. My clients loved it. And then the government came in and limited to maybe 10% of what someone's net worth was, what they could put in it. And these were the types of investments that used to be very limited to just the wealthy. So it was really cool for people with just, just regular folks that could, middle class for sure, that had some money saved, that they could get in these investments. And I typically sometimes would put as much as 20% of their money in there. And they knew up front, because I explained to them, you're not going to get to touch it. Okay. And it's going to pay you this dividend of 5 or 6%. And they hope to go public in 5 to 7 years, but maybe it won't. But you'll get this 5 to 7, you'll get this dividend until they do. And I'm not promising you any gain above that 5 to 7%. But they did. They doubled. Like I said, out of 7 of them, 6 of them doubled or more.
Yeah.
Right. But then the government came in and said that level of person, that they don't have the investing ability, even with a licensed advisor, to put that much into that kind of program. And it was ridiculous, but they just do those things. And so to some extent, it is the government's job to protect stupid people from themselves. A little bit. You got to do that. And that's been one of the things that to make crypto do the things that people would like it to do, and be like a real foundational, like gold, to really truly be like gold. You got to have some regulations, and the crypto market wants that to happen. They want to be part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they need to be part of the process, because nobody knows the crypto better than them. Not some stupid fucking senator, sitting in Kansas. They don't know.
Yeah.
They really don't. And so that's one of the reasons you have groups that, talk to our politicians on both sides of an issue that we say we don't like that, but how else are they going to get the information?
Yeah,
They have to get it from the people that are in the business, basically. So I said all that that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, really. But I was talking about the dildo, the green dildo meme crypto boys. They're on the loose again. And in the last week, since August 20th, I believe they have thrown out a green dildo onto the floor of a WNBA game again.
Like a new one, they're starting it out, this whole thing all over again.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And part of what they're doing, I don't like it, because part of what they're doing, because who do you think gets blamed for that?
Probably.
MAGA gets
I mean,
blamed for that. Okay. This is a bunch of idiot kids. They are not MAGA, but we're getting blamed for it,
mm-hmm.
for green. And it was. And last night during the game here in Phoenix, which Dawn and I were at, I think it was third period, maybe, some dude threw out a neon green dildo, and of course he got, escorted out. And so the punishment for that is you can never attend a WNBA or NBA game ever. It's a lifetime ban is what the leagues do for that
Hope
now.
it's worth it.
Yes, and they're actually trying to prosecute for that now.
I mean, I feel like an escort and a band is plenty sufficient for that.
Well, but it keeps happening,
Yeah.
and you got a bunch of people screaming about it, like that are upset about it. I'm just saying, you probably have a lesbian prosecutor somewhere that wants to do this. I don't know, but it's just, I get it was funny one time, but it's not funny anymore. It's the same as podcast equipment. Every single day somebody says something about podcast equipment. There's supposedly the people that are free speech people that we've been talking about. Yeah, that podcast equipment is too cheap, and I wish it was.
Yeah. They have no idea.
They have no idea. And sometimes they look at my other numbers or look at my TikTok numbers, and like they think I'm full of shit because they didn't see my accounts that had 15,000 and 6,000 and these others that have gotten shut down. They didn't see that, and they don't understand what my business is. And actually, I should personally, besides the content you do from here, I should be doing more videos, and I'm going to start doing more videos. But, dude, I'm getting 1 to 2, at least a minimum of 1 referral every day of a new client. Adding a new client every day is pretty without any
good.
effort, you know what I'm
that's good.
saying? Without me trying to draw them in or do videos.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's actually excellent. So it's part of that. The business has been difficult as far as doing the consulting and different entities making it hard to do the consulting, and we have limitations. We'll say we have limitations of time, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That no, there's some things that when we get new consulting packages, sometimes those consulting packages are taken at customs, so that just having enough packages to distribute can be an issue, and that's what's limiting growth more than anything else. Because I don't want to put my foot too much on the gas and then not be able to deliver. I want to make sure I can always deliver to the people that have been with me for years and years, and that's a shit ton of them, man. And so, when I feel like the number of packages has grown enough, then I can put the foot on the gas and, try to acquire even more clients. But I haven't had to do it, that's when I did have to do it. I did it. And the other reps who do consulting for me, same for them. It's on them to, build that for themselves. And it's a great opportunity. And some people see that opportunity, and some people are just lazy. And after we get back from Maui, the lazy is going to be chopped off.
Yeah.
It's just it's not so you can have your own package, a little less expensively. Yeah, that's not what this program is for. This is for people who really want to help other people,
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to do. But yeah, they just don't realize, what my thing is, or realize that I don't care, because nothing that anybody says has any effect on my bank account. Nothing. There's no insult or number of insults you can make towards me that's going to change a single fucking thing or change somebody else's mind that follows me. You know, my true clients are loyal as I am loyal to them. And they know that and they appreciate that about me. So it works. Definitely works both ways. So, you know, we keep doing what we do. And I feel too, like I've mentioned this to you guys lately a couple times, man, after we get back from our honeymoon, I just really feel like we're on the edge of at least a little bit of a flood, if you know what I mean. Because we're talking about, if people really check it out and compare the dates and the content, we're giving some different takes out there, or we're bringing those takes sooner than others are bringing those takes out there, and they're good takes, they're legitimate. But no, I really hate the dildo thing now. It needs to be done. It needs to be over. It's not a help in the culture war. It because they get associated with our side, and it makes us look like idiots. And I prefer that if I'm going to look like an idiot, that I'm the one that does it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So if there was no if within all this there was no connection between the dildos and people kind of connecting that with MAGA or conservatives, would you find it funny if there was no connection?
I found it funny, like everybody did, you know, the first time.
Tiring.
And now, it's like two things. It's not funny now because it's repetitive, and it just, something cannot be, unless you're a really good comedian and doing your show to a new audience.
Repetition doesn't
Then
really work.
it's okay. But if that entertainer does the same hour of content and you went to it one night, a Saturday night, for 5 weeks in a row, you're not laughing on week 5, man. He's maybe got one joke he's told in 10 years that you could say to the same person 5 times and get a laugh. Okay. Yeah. That's just, it just is, you know, the same for me, because I'm actually really funny. But when it works, if I have a line that I'm using, okay, it's funny to somebody new. You know who it's not funny to? Dawn.
Yeah.
She's heard it 5 times. She's heard the stories. But that's kind of what happens, you know, or, you know, you have a friend that asks you what's going on, and you tell them what's been going on. And then you have another friend, and she's with me and says, hey, what's going on? You know, well, I mean, the only thing she's not tired of talking about now is the wedding. So if we mention that, that's okay.
Naturally.
Dude, she's on top of the world right now. Yeah, she's so excited. And actually, I think you guys are going to be impressed a little bit, you know, with the arch that they're dressing up. And Brendan found like a little rollout thing in order, huh?
Like a red carpet almost?
Yeah, for Dawn to be able to walk down.
Oh, nice. That's it.
And Brendan found some friend that had chairs or works for a company that has chairs. We're renting chairs for $2 a chair. That's like, don't you think so?
Yeah, I would say so.
And we're going to have 30 chairs, so that's $60. That's not bad. And pretty much this is going to be, I think as of now, there's either 26 or 27 people. Yeah. Because pretty much everybody said yes, that we invited. I said 2 people who are out of state people couldn't do it. Actually 6 total. People couldn't do it, and totally understandable, but we'd have been remiss because they are such good friends. You know, it would have been bad not to invite them, you know, or give them, let them decide for themselves. Don't decide for them. You know what I mean? And so we were really just amazed. And then we told people they could come to the house if they wanted, because originally I'm expecting you guys to do some pictures and appreciate that, and video in a little bit. And Dawn's family, her son, his fiance, her daughter, her fiance, and maybe my friend Barry, but we weren't really, and my sister. That's what we were expecting to do, like the ceremony that we were going to do in 110-degree heat on a mountain trail, which is not happening. So we changed it to the house, and literally everybody was told, you can come to the house before and for the ceremony if you want. Everybody's coming. That's going to dinner. Everybody's come to that. I did not expect that. So it's cool as fuck. I feel really good about that. And, to me, it really is about, the quality of people that are surrounded in my life now, and I've done that through very hard work and on purpose, as you'll see. So yeah, just she's definitely excited about everything.
I mean, since we're on the topic,
Yeah, go ahead.
what is there one thing that you find the most exciting about this? Or is this kind of what, like,
Honestly,
we've done this a few times, kind of just got used to it,
yeah,
or like what's the mentality on
yeah,
your end?
that's a good question for me. Actually, what really makes me most happy about this is how happy she is. Honestly, that's what does it for me. And she's, like I said, she's out of this. She's just over the top. She's the dress could not be the more perfect dress for her. And so people who think you need to always spend $2-3 grand on a dress, you don't. And Mexico was a great place to pick it up. And this was before we were engaged. Okay, last year we were shopping at the Mexican, what do we call it? Mexican Rodeo Drive. That's what they call it. And she found this dress and she showed it to me, and she didn't say anything at first. I was like, that would make a good wedding dress. And she thought the same thing. So she hasn't worn it. She saved it. And that's been pretty good. So yeah, she's all ready. And probably the second biggest thing that makes me happy is the family. Her kids coming and what they've done and are contributing. I believe Dawn's daughter is going to walk her. Her son got ordained, because anybody can get ordained.
Yeah.
Right. So, but he did that. And he's going to do good. Let me say that. He's going to have some stuff that we want on video for sure. And then of course, my sister. So that's a big deal, because I think, I've been pretty honest about everything. I don't know any other way. And especially you and me, Leo, we've been doing this long enough that, if I talked about my sister before, it wasn't really great. Yeah. Yeah. Really strained relationship. I try to say never, but you never say never. And I didn't know how I would feel about, like, us kind of making up, but it's been 10 times better than I would have expected. So that's kind of a really cool, big deal too. So that part, also makes me happy. And even though I've been to too many rodeos, this is going to be the last rodeo. And believe this, young men, there's not just one person out there for you, because you know how ridiculous that sounds, that that your person just happened to come from your hometown and went to your high school.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it. That's kind of like, yeah. That's some hella pre-planning by God. Okay, that's really good shit. Yeah, that doesn't exist. So I'm just saying that you can make it work. You can have a great relationship with somebody, and it can be the most perfect and best marriage. You have the best life, and that's how it should be. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't have done that same work, with someone else too.
Mhm.
But I do, I've women have been some of my, besides alcohol. Women have
Me
been
too,
some
brother.
of my
Hey,
worst
me too.
decisions, man. I'm just saying, they've been some of my worst decisions. And, I kept trying different ways. I tried changing myself for them. God, don't ever fucking do that, man. Don't ever do that, because Dawn accepts me for me and supports the business. And if I did something in public that she didn't like, um, she would still support me. She'd say something later where it's appropriate, and I would do the same for her. You don't not back your spouse ever. You never not back them in public. That just is not.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Breaks the code.
Yeah. And she lets me, she doesn't stop me from flexing sometimes.
Yeah.
And some of the women I had been with, even married to, they liked that they could call on me to flex for them, to check someone. But if I was doing it, oh my God, that's embarrassing. Embarrassing what? Why stick up for you? Why you weren't even there? Why are you assuming I was the one that was wrong? You know what I mean? You should get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Until you give someone a reason to not get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she does that. And that's honestly a really big deal with me, because loyalty like that, and respect and being appreciated, because as I've said, men want to be appreciated more than they want to be loved. That's what we want. Just acknowledge what we're doing, acknowledge that we're taking care of business. There's nothing annoys me more than a man that don't take care of the business. Grow the fuck up, man. You don't need to ask. You know what to do. Go fucking do what's right and take care of shit. You can't, don't send your wife to take care of shit. You have a contractor coming over to the house and he's fucking some shit up, and you want to leave instructions with your wife to, bitch out the contractor. No, motherfucker. That's your job. That's your job to do that shit, And anything that's your job to do that shit, you either do it or you get someone to do it. So that's, I don't always do it, as far as, I think your woman should rarely ever have to pump gas. You're the man, you should keep gas in her car. Now, I don't have to do that for her, because I got Brendan. Brendan keeps gas in all my cars. And if Brendan's not putting gas in the cars and they need gas, then I'm putting gas in the car. But she's not, like, super, super rare. That's just shouldn't be a thing. And that's kind of what I mean by, just as an example of taking care of man business, And I believe that a majority of women, although they may not say that because they're, being so much shit spit in their head, that you're supposed to be equal but not the same. They have a different equal, and I don't even like equal. I never have liked 50-50. I like 100-100. That's what you put in. You don't put in 50%. The 50% is bullshit. Who you fooling? Put in 100. And you got to put in that 100 whether she does or not. But if she does not, for too long a period of time, you're not in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
And life is too short. And I certainly don't, as many times as I've been divorced, I don't like divorce. Never expected this to be me, because my parents were married just under 50 years before my mom died. And, I expected that. And didn't start out that way and got worse. But I take responsibility for that. I take responsibility for the bad women because I made that choice. I'm not going to, blame them. It was on me. I allowed it until I didn't want to allow it anymore.
Yeah.
Like that. So, yeah, I just feel like we're the ones to finish the road together.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the right time for that. And not you don't look back and say, oh, I wish I would have found this person 30 years ago. There's no reason to even contemplate those kinds of things. You're just wasting your time. Contemplate today and the future. Focus on living today and, do a little bit of planning, but always know today is going to be the most important day. And, don't shortchange yourself. A good example of that is, I've been doing a lot of this planning and stuff. Has really been cool through ChatGPT. My God, what an awesome tool that shit is, dude. It's helped me find a dress for my sister, a little jewelry, shoes. I mean, it's helped me design the whole honeymoon, and went through and said and picked the hotel and everything like that. It's helping me with dinner plans now. They actually have a Spago, which is Wolfgang Puck's place,
Mm-hmm.
at the Four Seasons.
Oh,
So
wow.
you got a 5-star restaurant inside the hotel. And that your very best hotels usually do that. They'll have
Makes sense.
Yep, the very, very best. And then there's Ferraro's on the island, so we'll go there as well. And then I think there was a steak and seafood place. I mean, neither of us does sushi, but I'll do a lobster tail or some claws or something, So, yeah, it's helped me plan that out. And then I had questions. The big thing I wanted to do was the helicopter ride. Because honestly, I know it's corny as fuck, but what always interested me, I always used to be a little jealous of her. I thought would be cool to do for a woman is like in the reality shows where they're hooking up and stuff, where they go on a helicopter ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wanted to do that. So this is funny as shit. So this time I'm talking to the voice of ChatGPT, and my voice is that I talk to is a chick. I have it set to a chick, right? And she asked me, do you want the doors on or off of the helicopter?
I'm taking them off.
You're taking them off?
I'm taking them off.
Okay, because I said, fuck no. Put those doors on.
I can understand though. I
Yeah.
can understand why. It definitely
Yeah.
adds an additional level of being
Yeah,
up in
maybe
the
some
air.
other time.
Yeah, I don't have anyone I need to report to. So if I fall out of the helicopter, it's not that bad of a
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm a doors on kind of guy. Maybe like if there's
Well,
something
you could
specific,
talk easier. It's going to be loud enough as it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But they give you like the headset.
the headset.
right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying, but it still is.
Yeah,
pretty
but the
fucking
wind
loud.
and stuff,
yeah,
there was
yeah,
just.
right.
And then there's some 60-minute tours and there's a 90-minute tour. The 60-minute tours ran about $800 for two people for an hour. Yeah, I didn't think it was that
For a
terrible.
helicopter ride, that's
And the one for 90 minutes is $11.18. So we're going to do that. It's worth the $300, I think. 150 each. It's worth it for the extra 30 minutes.
is it just going around the different islands or what do you?
No, I
Do
think
you
it's
know?
mostly up there, and it takes you to where these waterfalls are, and seeing it from like the angle of a helicopter
Yeah.
is supposed to make it 10 times better than just going there and seeing it.
Hmm.
Is what people say the experience is.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we wanted to do that, and we're gonna try to do that right away Wednesday morning, like early Wednesday morning, so you get a little bit of the sunrise and stuff too.
Yeah.
And just so you know, when you get a message from me, I'm 6 hours behind you.
Yeah, we gotcha. We understand that.
In the middle, just some random ass time, just getting messages.
Yeah, because people need to know life goes on. We continue to do our shit. All this week, we're doing all the stuff for the wedding, and business goes on. It never stops. When we leave, I'll still get messages. I want people to send me messages and, their consultation packages. It usually doesn't take that long to pass it on to my staff for them to take care of, and which allows us to have this amazing trip that we're blessed to be able to take, is because of that. So I don't know. That's just, I know some people might think that's weird and just take a break. You deserve a break. Man, why would I do that now when I've never done that before?
Yeah.
In this,
Everybody's different when it comes to that stuff,
Yeah.
for sure.
And the thing is, totally understanding about that kind of stuff. We never have any issue with that between us. It's never happened. And then there's I can't even pronounce the name of it, but there's something else that you do on the island, go into some spot that's supposed to be a big deal too. So we're going to schedule that too. So we'll have a couple days we do that. And the rest, man, I want to be in the pool, relaxing, taking it easy, going to the room whenever we want, a couple times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie about that. That'll be really great too. So, yeah, all of this, we got this far from green dildos.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, who else can talk like that?
Life will take you
Trump,
crazy
maybe,
places.
Yeah. Yeah, but we got here from green dildos. It's amazing. The Mercury played horrible last night. And even when they tried to play better, they just couldn't stop the other team from scoring. And we're talking, it's the Washington Mystics. I don't know why I was having trouble with that, but it was the Washington Mystics. And they got some good young people on their team. They have that Citron, who's a rookie, who's a big guard and a rookie. There's a few others, but I like that coach. It's his first year. Iriafin, she's great. I really like her. And the one that really dominates below is Shakira Austin. She's got the crazy hair color, but that chick can ball. She is really, really good.
I heard somebody on the radio saying it was, Kelsey Plum's first home game or something like that. They're like mentioning it because I'm assuming because she was injured or whatever, right? You said she was injured for a minute.
Dude, this is only the third game she's been playing in since she got traded to us. And what's bad about this is every fan loves her, okay, for the Mercury. We all love her. We are glad we got her. But she's a free agent after this year. And we traded a first-round pick in 26 and a second-round pick in 27 to have her for just the remainder of this year. And then we have to re-sign her, which everybody would be pissed if they don't pay her and re-sign her, right? But we could have done that at the end of the season, too. We had no reason to give up those two picks, dude. I'm sorry, as much as I like her, the real truth is it wasn't worth doing now. Because the chances when we made that trade at the trade deadline, we would have had to almost win out all the games, the remaining games, win out to have a chance at 8th place and make the playoffs, right? And then we probably wouldn't get past the first round because we're 8th, and we actually have 2, what I consider to be bench players, decent bench players, but they're starters for us right now. That's not good.
No, definitely not.
No, that's not good. We only have 3 or 4 starters, really. That are truly would start on other teams, you know. And Copper would be a star anywhere. Alyssa Thomas, you know, she just hasn't done what she did last year. Last year, she was in the MVP conversation, and you know, number 2 after Asia, but she was giving Asia a run for her money. And then the Aces ran us off the floor in the finals in 4 straight. But Alyssa Thomas is a star in her own right, but struggling, I believe, struggling a little bit this year. And then we find out yesterday, and I missed it because wedding, other things I'm getting done. We paid Dewana Bonner her remaining $250,000 and let her go for this year because she's 38 and she wants to chase a ring. And she's been with the organization twice with the Mercury. And we're just looking to see who she's going to get picked up by now. But yeah, I mean, she will be, but she wants to be on a contender. And I get that, but I still think it sucks for us. You know what I mean? It's great to show that appreciation to someone that's done, you know, good shit for your organization and stuff. But I don't know. It's the whole season has been just and really not happy with the management, really, how they've handled the whole thing. Just, you got to do better. You got to have a bench in this league, and you got to have bigs. I talked about having bigs last year and why I liked Brown. Brown would still be a good player coming off the fucking bench, and he should have gave her more time last year. Not big time, but, you know, she should have had 10, 15 minutes every game. You know, she was good enough for that, and every team needs it. And it's a big girls' league right now. That's the direction the WNBA is going. Is these girls coming in are bigger, and you know can handle the ball pretty well for big players, just like in the NBA that you had. I mean, like when I grew up, you know, you never had a center bringing the ball down the court. Who thought of that?
That was like highly advised against.
Well, because they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle the rock like that, right?
Yep.
Stand under the rim and grab the rebound.
Yeah, and you always had to keep yelling at them. And it's true today in the WNBA. Stop putting the ball on the floor when you get it. You get the ball here, you jump from here up, and you put it in. That's it.
But that's less style points, Troy.
Yeah.
You can't forget the style points, man.
Yeah, but they're not style points. They're getting turnover points. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's very cyclical when it comes to stuff like that. Like it'll be a big man's or big woman's league, and then you have the guards that will be like the main focal point, and then somebody figures out something new, and it comes back to the big man. And
absolutely, it works. But you got to play in the cycle you're in.
Yep,
you have to, or you're going to get crushed. For that. Yeah, so that was just very, very disappointing to a lot of people, and that's certainly hurting their attendance on people that are not season ticket holders the rest of the way. I mean, because you're not playing for anything other than maybe you want to see a player from the other team. Or now maybe a family can pick up some tickets a little bit cheaper and go take their little kid. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that either, you know? So, all right.
They did it for the kids, Troy. Come on.
What's that?
They did it for the kids, Troy.
Is that why? They haven't changed the menu all fucking year. And I talked them into doing nachos. And it's nachos every fucking home game now, which is kind of okay.
They didn't
But
have nachos prior to that?
occasionally.
Oh, okay. It's like, that's pretty, I mean, that's
But
pretty
it's like,
standard.
yeah, but you should just have it, you know? Yeah, that's kind of how that's been. We still, I mean, so this is what I need to tell you guys about. We had an interesting conversation last night because I go undercover sometimes, and not in a deceitful way or anything like that, but what I was wearing last night, you know, you gave no indications, right? You know, I'm straight, I'm with Dawn, you know, she's straight, she's with me, right? But, you know, having some jewelry in certain places or something, you know, people make judgments about everything. But I wasn't doing anything where somebody was immediately going to have a negative judgment. And there's this one table in there, and sometimes it's hard to find a place to stand or sit in the lounge, you know, to eat a little bit. And so there's this one table that usually gets surrounded with people, and sometimes it's all the same group, and then sometimes it's like, this is a different group than this. And so there were people at the ends and no one in the middle. So Dawn and I went and stood. And I can talk to anyone. I can talk to people in fucking Walmart, okay? Just literally anywhere. I'm good at saying things, bringing things up, you know, just anything. I'm like phenomenal at it. So I'm listening. So there's a couple, okay, 2 gay guys, but they're a couple, okay? One sitting next to Dawn, one sitting next to me. Super nice. And they're one of their girlfriends, also gay, was standing at the end. And they were having a conversation about Enes Kanter Freedom and Natasha Cloud, the basketball. And what I found interesting was that the guy next to me was actually somewhat rational in that he was questioning what happened beforehand, before Natasha Cloud walked towards that end of the court and started pointing and yelling at him. Because what most of us seen, and obviously we couldn't hear, is we just saw that he was there, seated there, wearing that shirt. And he took a lot of shit just even getting into, so they had to know shit was potentially, you know, not going to go good because security had to help him get into the game.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. That shouldn't be a thing. That shirt, you can agree with that shirt or not agree with that shirt. You can be right or you can be wrong, but it was a very, it wasn't a mean t-shirt. It just, woman, noun, you know, a female or whatever it said there, like super
woman
basic.
Now and then like adult human female or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
It was like totally simple, not crazy.
No, it's not. It wasn't
extremely tame compared to what, I mean, plenty of other stuff has
It's always extremely tame.
And extremely tame compared to the shit he's being called. I'm sorry. We're not going to buy into it, and we're not going to let you force us. You can't make us buy into this where defining that a trans woman is the same of a real woman. Now, maybe they can get 9/10 of the way there, okay? But they're still not going to be a real woman. You're going to always be a trans woman, and that trans part's never coming off. You're never going to be just a woman. You're just not. And believing that doesn't make us transphobes. because we're specifically talking about sports. We're not hating on anybody, and neither did Sophie Cunningham, because I'd like to know, they're really upset. Trust me, I was listening to their conversation, and I joined their conversation. How about this? I joined their conversation, and they weren't able to figure out what side I was on, because I'm good. Because I left certain things alone, and then I kind of teamed up with this guy in the conversation. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. What did he say? Did he just wear the shirt? Did he say something that provoked her? And this guy was like more reasonable in that if nothing was said by him to provoke her, then he shouldn't have probably been kicked out. He was actually... Go ahead.
Got to be something to start it off. Like,
Well-
it'd be weird. This is just going off what he said, that it'd be weird for him to just kind of randomly be involved in some way, shape, or form without it being because of something that was said.
Well,
Unless they had previous beef before.
Yeah,
that.
but we want to know. Do you know what I'm saying? We want to know, did he really say something? Because in no reporting have I seen that they've said that he said that. Because if he had said things to her, then he could have potentially violated the code of conduct. Okay? I'm telling you that I don't think he violated the code of conduct.
Well,
He's too smart for that, for one. I mean, not that he cared about getting kicked out, because is he doing it for attention? Of course. But when somebody's doing something for attention, you don't always have to acknowledge or give it to them, right? You don't have to.
You don't, no.
Yeah.
Well, I would say everything I've looked up on it, it's kind of just coming down to a he said, she said situation. He says that he really didn't do much, and they said that he was chirping and then raising his hands when the Fever were making threes. So
What?
That's what I'm saying. So if nothing has come out yet saying that he was provoking it, I'm willing to bet that it was a combination of them taking it as a slight of cheering against this guy for whatever reason.
Right.
And then the shirt that he was wearing on top of it also triggered them for whatever reason. So I think a combination of that is what caused her
But
to
again, you
confront him.
You can't wear the shirt of supporting trans kids and somebody else not be allowed to wear a shirt of what a woman is. And in fact, I almost tried to, I just didn't want the hassle, but I almost, 2 games ago, it was a cancer, cancer survivor
Mm-hmm.
deal, I almost wore my grunt style fuck cancer shirt, but it would have been more like this, you know what I mean? Where fuck is censored a little bit, but they took issue with this shirt one time. So, wanted me to turn it inside out and stuff, and I pushed back. But so I just decided not to do it. But that was the game. It's so funny because these guys they're all talking about Sophie Cunningham, and they're really pissed at her. And again, she didn't say anything that was crazy. She didn't say anything against trans people, just particularly men competing in women's sports. That's it. And she gave love to all the rest. I mean, that's not like the worst things to say, but I think they've bought into it so much now that they actually believe that trans women are real women. So since they believe that, they can't give up on this, that trans women should be able to play in women's sports because they're real women. And if we don't let them play in women's sports, they lose the battle of trans women are real women. They feel like they'd be losing, and they're either thinking of that consciously or unconsciously. And I think both. Some of them think about it consciously, some unconsciously, but that's the deep down reason, because I was really working on this, about that conversation and everything. But at least he was fair. And then we got into talk about where we were from, and me being from Toledo, Dawn being from outside of Chicago, and the schools they went to, and this one place that Dawn was. We started talking about concerts or something. And Dawn brought up the Oak Ridge Boys, or he brought up the Oak Ridge Boys. And like the Oak Ridge Boys, like that didn't seem like, but that was like first concert. And so I started asking everybody, what was your first concert and stuff like that. And things just kept coming up. Like he went to Kalamazoo, and I used to have clients in Kalamazoo, and he mentioned Sturgis, Michigan. I used to drive through Sturgis, Michigan. So he was just getting all tingly about like these things that were similarities and stuff. And he was in the band, and Dawn being a Big Ten cheerleader and stuff. And so, we couldn't have had a nicer conversation the whole time. But that was a conversation that we never could have had if we had our Sophie shirts on like we did the previous game, which two people came up to us and made positive remarks. Nobody gave us a negative remark, which is what we always expect. Because now it's face to face.
There's not a 16-year-old girl either.
Yeah.
They can talk shit to.
Yeah, something like that. And not wearing a MAGA hat. So, any of those things, we would not have been able to have that conversation.
Unfortunate.
The guys were fairly, like I said, reasonable, and had some reasonable takes. Similar to mine is like, however you feel about it, what was actually said or not said, and if he said something, fine. I find it ridiculous because I literally heard a coach a few games ago tell a ref, I could hear it because we're that close, that screamed fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Now, if as a fan you say fucking horrible, you can get kicked out for swearing. Okay? And look, I got kicked out, and I told him about that, what had happened when I got kicked out last season, for simply saying, challenge the call. You know what I've done the last couple of games, though? I have thrown that out there once, each of the last couple of games.
Just as a stark reminder.
Well, no, there were times he should have challenged the call. If you're yelling at the ref about the call and you have a challenge left, if you believe you were right, challenge. They all think they have to hold the challenge to the very fucking end. What happens during the game matters to how the end of the game gets resolved. It's not always about just that last 20 seconds. Most of the time, when it's lost because of things that happened. Well, if this had been different in quarter 3, or this would have been different in quarter 1, maybe you would have won. It's not all about that last 20 seconds, but they don't want to do that.
Well, does it follow the same rules where, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty much every sport, if you're right on the challenge, you get to keep that challenge as long as over. So, yeah, I don't see what the big deal is in.
Yeah. And then, so the referee warned him. He just screamed fucking horrible in his, and you don't tee him up. I've seen a whole lot of other coaches get teed up for a whole lot fucking less, man.
Yeah.
A whole lot less. That my thing is, it's just not consistent, that should have been teed up like that. So, like I said, who can say things and who can't say things. Now, those guys have floor seats under the basket, and they say, fans over there say all kinds of things. Well, look, I don't say, I'm careful about what I say, even though I like to swear a lot. I don't swear at the coach or use swear words yelling about the coach or the officials.
So swearing is like a big thing at WNBA games? Like they don't want you doing it all?
No.
That's kind of wild. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Every sporting event, even high school sporting events, you're getting f bombs every which way. Like I don't. Maybe that's just where I'm from and shit.
I don't know.
That kind of blows my mind because I mean, even if you just slip up once on accident, that could put you at risk. Then, right?
Right.
Of being kicked out.
Sure.
That's crazy to me.
Sure, it could. So yeah, that's just the way it is. I want to go just a little bit longer, but we need to do a break. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Short break. We'll be right back. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. And we are back. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And we've been talking about the WNBA, especially last night, because another green dildo, I believe the fourth incident in a week. And I don't think we had any earlier in the year. I think it's all been here in August that it's happened in same group. And they're trying to link that group to MAGA, and it has nothing to do with MAGA. We don't want any part to do with this. But the best I can. Sure.
How do you think they're hiding it?
Your thought is the same as Dawn's, but one of the ladies next to us, Dawn and her were having that conversation, and Dawn said, maybe he had it up his ass. I think they probably had it around their lower leg area, in their pants, because he was wearing pants, and they're not going to pat you down like that. And it's a dildo, not a vibrator.
Yeah.
So it's not going to set the
thing off.
Metal detector. If it's rubber, it's not going to. And my point is, why waste a good dildo?
Dude, whoever the manufacturer is probably making a killing off this shit, man. Like,
or they're selling a lot of neon ones.
Yeah, a lot of neon ones.
Like, do you think they bought them in bulk, or do you think they're buying them individually every time?
Individually every time.
I think so as well.
Really?
Because how many times? I think it's happened. You said 6 total times. That's
that's the fourth time this year.
3 times this year.
Oh man, shit.
That was the third. Okay, I thought it was.
That's crazy though. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine they're buying them in bulk, but I was just curious. Wanted to make a little joke, but also genuinely curious how you think they're hiding them, because you'd think the WNBA security is like they're aware of the situation. So like, But I also don't know how they pat
But
people
are they,
down.
are they telling the security look out for dildos?
I
Yeah,
mean-
there's not. Yeah,
Like, because you're running
That'd
into a
be
lot of
really,
issues.
really hard.
You could
Oh,
run into a lot of
absolutely.
issues with
But you said they don't pat you down like that. Is it kind of just like a little?
no,
like,
they never pat you down unless they wand you. You know what I mean? Because
well,
you set
yeah.
the thing off.
that. Looks like it's happened 6 different times.
Yeah,
in,
so
in the
Total?
past- in total in the past few years.
I don't know. I feel like it happened more than 3 times last year. I really do.
well,
but-
either way, if the WNBA isn't aware of
Or,
it,
sorry, I apologize. 6 times in 2025, and then the 3 times this year.
Okay, there we go.
So
That
9
makes more
times?
sense.
all right. Well, as a fucking commissioner of the WNBA, like I know it's 9 times in 2 years, but at some point you're gonna be like, hey, let's tighten this up a little bit. Let's not let this happen because you start.
I don't know.
You're approaching double digits here. I mean, that's just me personally.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't know how you do it. I mean, you can try to
Strip
keep out
down.
and have, you know, but
They actually arrested 2 people in 2025.
An 18-year-old and a
and a
23-year-old.
So 18-year-old in Phoenix, and then the 23-year-old in Georgia.
and like I said, you know, it was pretty lenient before, but it's you know, with just the bans, but now they're looking to, I forget what the charges would be. One was disorderly conduct, which would be a misdemeanor, right?
Yeah, and that can be dropped off. He's like,
Yeah.
you can
And
negotiate that.
then one was trespassing, which is weird. How can you be trespassing if you bought a ticket?
That's what I was about to say. Is how's that?
I don't know,
possible?
but that was in the article that I had.
Disorderly conduct, public indecency, exposure, and
Yeah.
criminal trespass.
Yeah, see, I told you criminal trespass.
Oh, the
Charges
Phoenix,
of assault.
the Phoenix. Yeah, it says the Phoenix one. It struck a man and his 9-year-old niece, so they got hit with assault.
In New York, 10 criminal charges, the highest being a second-degree attempt assault, which
Holy
is a
shit.
felony carrying a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison, by the way.
What the? Fuck?
Can you imagine actually losing and going to jail and have to own up to that
Yeah,
When you're
That's
in the
really
cafeteria?
when
with
they're
the-
being
what
asked
you
around.
in for, bro?
that's crazy
That's
as
actually-
fuck.
I'm the green.
You might actually
meme-
get your ass
I'm the
beat.
green dildo meme guy.
I'd actually get
Oh,
your
you
ass
like
beat.
dildos, do you?
Yeah, that's crazy as fuck.
Mm.
Actually, well, like I said, I hope it's worth it. Hope it's worth the social media. Your 15 minutes of fame.
But this has to be it's a collective group, right? So you don't think like I mean that's man maybe I don't know.
I don't
that's
know
worth
if they're
it, yeah.
all. To be honest, probably some of them are connected, and maybe there's others that kind of just tagged along because they thought it was funny. Like I can't imagine every single one of them are all a part of this group, right?
It's
Because some of them they
they,
range. From,
but they've actually that group, like almost like a terrorist group, has come out and taken responsibility for it, saying it was us.
oh yeah, I'm sure they probably want that advertising, like you said, for their
Yeah.
cryptocurrency. Absolutely, that I'm not shocked about.
Because if it wasn't, I don't know. If you were gonna do it, why and you weren't a part of the group, would you use a green one still? Or would you use a different color? Or would you use a green one so that they get blamed and you
That's
only
that's
with it?
yeah.
But
that's,
you're gonna get arrested. I mean, it's hard to pull out and whip it without people around you, somebody seeing it,
Yeah.
and everybody videos
Oh
everything
yeah, there's
now.
there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, so it looks like the Phoenix guy was one of those incidents where he wasn't involved, but he just thought it was funny.
Like, bro,
So he
what
did it.
is the-
But all the other ones have been connected to the green dildo coin.
And how about this? Out of those 9, 2 of them have been in Phoenix because we had one last year. I thought we had 2 of them last year, but we might have only had 1.
fucking crazy. Girl, I can understand an 18-year-old, a 23-year-old doing it, but a 32-year-old man doing that's where I would be like, all right, dude. Like, there's definitely a cutoff point for this. Like, you can't be doing that at 32 years old. Especially if, he's the one that got hit with the worst charges of them all, wasn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
And the judge is going to be least lenient on a
Yeah.
32-year-old than an 18-year-old. Like,
Absolutely.
motherfucker, you know better.
You know better.
Yeah. Absolutely. You gain nothing with that. Absolutely nothing.
Let me ask you guys, because, you're...
Here's a picture of him.
Let's see. Oh, good grief.
Is that the 18-year-old?
That's the 18-year-old.
Oh, he is just that is a professional internet troll if I've ever seen one.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he actually does use the dildo, though.
Yeah, it could have. I mean, he might have got hit.
Well, he
got some
ain't
mileage
getting
out of
laid.
it. Got some mileage out of it, maybe.
Crazy word.
What was your question?
What was your question?
Since, you guys are less attached to it, originally, the first time it happened, did you think it was funny? And do you think it's funny now?
I'll answer yes to both. I'll be
Yeah, I'm gonna
honest
say
with you.
yes. I'm gonna say yes to both. To me, I will say I think it's unnecessary, but it's still funny.
Right.
Like, it's definitely unnecessary. I think, I agree, there is a point where things go too long. But I'm gonna be honest, like, seeing a fucking neon green dildo fly across a court, it's gonna get a chuckle out of me.
I think that there's just like a lot of
All right.
irony in there too. It's just
Yeah.
with everything going on with the WNBA and stuff like that. There's layers to the joke, which I feel I have not got tired of it yet. Again,
I appreciate your honesty.
it didn't happen for about a few months, so I think it was a good amount of time between to be like, okay, that's kind of still funny.
Yeah.
If it was happening every week, then obviously you'd get to the point where you're like,
pick something new. At that
get
point.
something new, and a different color, maybe like different texture on there, something different. But if we're
you want a ribbed one or a veiny one?
Throw a little variety in there, some
for the
diversity.
people, come on. That's how content works nowadays. You can't just do the same thing over and over again. You got to throw in a little bit of variety.
Well, we might want to let them know. That's good. You have the article from, So, for one, I think what conservatives should do in this culture war and in this clash with the WNBA's activism, I'll put it that way, that you cannot deny the real life experience of the most famous trans woman in the world. And I can't think of someone, and if you can, send us a comment. I'd love to see what it is. But tell me who is more famous than Caitlyn Jenner as a trans woman.
I mean, I'm not well versed, but I would say that's probably the most popular, just because it's a kind of a multifaceted thing. It's like having the fame of being an Olympic champion,
Yeah.
and then doing something very highly controversial like that as well.
But went all the way.
Yeah.
This is a true athlete. Now, didn't try to compete against women when he was outwardly still representative as a man. I've heard him talk a number of times, her talk a number of times. I don't know, because I haven't cared that much to know, when he started feeling that he wasn't a man and wanted to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, if that ever occurred to him during his athletic career, if it was well after his athletic career. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. We're talking about somebody who genuinely was an elite athlete and has now, converted to being a trans woman. And I think she accepts, I'll just say that Caitlyn Jenner accepts, that's the better way, right?
Cover the bases,
Lord, that's exhausting shit. That Caitlyn Jenner accepts being a trans woman and accepts that biologically, even with his dick cut off, he's not a real woman. And he's gotten as close as you can get. So that's my thought on him and him having an opinion that he's given more than one occasion that he is absolutely against men and women's sports. And here you have the most well-known trans woman in history, the most well-known. So the people that are supporting trans women in men and in women's sports, those that are supporting that, how do you deny Caitlyn Jenner's story? I don't know how you do that. That math don't work. So you have that. I hate most of the tweets by Martina Navratilova, but here you have, I don't know, she was elite. I think she was I used to watch a lot of tennis years ago because I played some tennis. But I would say that she's got to be one of the top 3 female athletes of any type of all time. And certainly in the top 3 of female tennis players. You know, there are a couple others that are up there with her, but she's right there and did it for a long, long time. And she was out as a lesbian, I believe, if not that whole time, most of that time. And she understands what it means to compete against a man. She understands it. She understands that the number 100th man would have beaten her. She gets that. But she takes a lot of heat for not buying into the trans in men's sports. And again, it's not us. We don't care anything else about being trans. If you're 18, you can do whatever you want. All of us are saying that you can do whatever you want. So you have that. And then here you have another one. U.S. Olympic hero Nancy Hogshead launches petition calling for WNBA to restrict gender eligibility. Very well known for hockey, 3-time, or swimming. I thought it was hockey. See, what do I know? 3-time Olympic swimming gold medalist Nancy Hogshead is calling on the WNBA to explicitly restrict player eligibility to biological females. Launching a petition, collected more than 11,000 signatures. If you want to participate, you have to be a certain age and you have to be a female. She hopes the petition ultimately reaches 100,000 signatures. It's an 80-20 issue. The more people, if people know about it, it'll get there. Across the country, so we can do it, she said, we have well over 1 million people who have engaged with our materials that we put out about the petition. We just got to get them to sign on. And then talking about the WNBA and the recent agreement between the union and the league. Hogshead said the declarations exposed what she considers a contradiction in policies based on gender self-identification. And that's in reference to our friend, Enos Kanter Freedom. Yeah, the league just doesn't want to, they keep throwing around hate. That because we don't want men in women's sports, we're hateful. just not the case. You can have that opinion and still not hate trans people. I don't anything trans people. I don't hate them. I just don't have any in my life that I know of. But, you know, we should be able to have discussions like I had last night with the people at at that table, men and women, and have it as calmly as that was. I knew their positions. They were getting some of mine, but again, I didn't give them anything that would make them prejudge me in a different way. And, you know, me agreeing with the one about whether or not Enos said something or not, you know, wasn't outlandish because he said it. And then it just gets back to, you know, one other thing. This was mostly the woman, not the guys, that, you know, it's just being done for money, you know, and attention. Sophie Cunningham was getting attention before this. She got attention because she is a decent player, because she's a good-looking girl, and she's also getting attention. She does have a podcast. So she was getting attention. She was getting attention as Caitlin Clark's kind of wingman that was there to stand up for her when she got knocked down. You know, and people, you're automatically disliked because, see, the left doesn't like Riley Gaines, the other swimmer that lost to that dude. So they don't like Riley Gaines because Riley Gaines is out as a conservative, full stop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't like her, and so so they think that she's hateful. So since now Sophie is friendly and friends with Riley Gaines, that's rubbing off on Sophie too. And also the woman that started the XXXY sports apparel. And she's friends with her. So they hate that. They hate that Jennifer Say. They hate that company. They hate that you're pointing out the truth. It's simple biology. You don't know what you're talking about if you believe that gender and biology are the same. You're supposed to believe they're two different things. Well, one is real and one is feelings. And you can feel whatever you want, but that doesn't make it right. So, but they're trying to turn that into that. And I think that even though it's such a small issue and affects so few people, the cultural part of it is way different and bigger because of all of these different things that they've wanted us to accept. And this is one we're like, okay, we can't. If we swallow this, we're going to die. And they just like, this is it. You know, you want to believe in climate change and see, we're all in the homeless. We believe the climate changes. We just don't believe we're changing it. You know, so we've had some pretty severe weather here in the Phoenix area, you know, in the last couple of weeks. Big haboob, is that what they call it? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And you know what I see when I see a video, and it looks cool as shit, actually. I know it's terrible, but seeing some videos people had of, you know, back of the city and seeing it move across the city. And my thing is how powerful that is. And I'm talking, it's some power that Mother Nature brings with these haboobs. You got a good one?
Yeah, it's like a time lapse
Yeah.
starting. Yep.
Yeah. That's just power running across an area.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. That is so wild.
It's crazy how quickly your visibility changes.
Oh,
as soon
yeah.
as you hit that dust, you lose all visibility in front of you.
Just crazy.
Actually, I think I know what house this is, funny enough.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure I do. If this here is Brown Mountain, I know exactly what house this is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing, though, how powerful and how it may take a while sometimes, but when there is a volcanic eruption and all of that pollution, right? Isn't it pollution from the earth? Its own pollution. When that just hits, and we can't do anything to clean that up. See, if there's an oil spill, we do our best to surround it, and I'm not saying it's always good or that animals don't, but we just don't sit and let it go. We assist the earth in cleaning it up, and we should. But a volcanic eruption, what can we do to help clean that up? Nothing. Mother Nature takes care of all of it. All of it. And I don't know, a few weeks, a month, 2 months, you don't even know it was there in the weather or, what the makeup of the air is at that time, that it's cleaned up by then. It does it itself. That is, people want to act like the earth is so fucking fragile. Dude, I can't see that and see fragile. Mother Nature is not a fragile bitch. She's a bad bitch. Okay, she is not fragile. And we think too much of ourselves as human beings to think that we're bigger and stronger than Mother Nature.
Yeah.
That's my...
Oh, you're right. I mean, if Earth ever decides that we've become too parasitic, she will purge us if necessary. Like, I've always fully believed that. Like, that's if we are actively damaging the Earth enough to where it causes reactions like that, the Earth will take care of what needs to be done. That's how I've always felt.
Mike.
Like,
the one thing that we could, the thing about the Earth is, like, whether we do something or not, it's going to change. That is like, I mean, you're
Exactly.
not wrong, but to take the people away from the equation, like the world, the Earth is still going to go through all these different it's happened. It's been recorded.
That's
it's going to happen, whether it's the humans' fault,
it happened for millions of years before we got here,
and it's going to happen for another few millions until the sun explodes and the Earth no longer exists.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's not crazy. What's crazy is a wealth transfer from those nasty Americans who, use all the resources. We use the resources because we're the best at it. That's why. So get better at it. If you
get better.
Nobody said yet, this is 2026. If you're still living in a hut and carrying water, I don't know. That's kind of a choice.
Yeah, I say if we go down if that's a conversation we were to go down, we can go down for sure. I don't know how much you want to veer off, but I mean I do agree, but there is certain things that play a role into that 100%.
Oh yeah, the challenge is always going to be there, but people have left. I mean, it's not like they haven't seen the real world. They send us their marathon runners, for God's sakes.
I think at the surface level, I think what you're saying is true, But I think a lot of those people that are stuck in those situations are definitely. It's not as easy as just getting up and
Right.
going.
But are they really stuck, or is it they're happy with their culture? Just like, how is that
Yes.
different than the Amish? The Amish were happy for decades. Now, the Amish have changed a lot since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like when I was a little kid, it was like if a Amish person drove a car, oh my God, you know, and they were whispered about in the whole Amish community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh, what are they doing? You know, they're in a car and that's not good. And I'm just saying, but they choose that to continue on in that life. They don't have to, but they accept that culture that they were born into. And so I'm just saying,
I'll say two things on
Sure.
that. So the first thing I would say is a lot of those people they don't have the knowledge to make those decisions, especially in situations like that, right? Where the Amish people don't have connections outside of their world. So therefore there is no reason to go outside of that world because there's no necessity for it, so there's no reason
but they still have to engage with the real world.
eventually.
Yeah, well,
And
they
then
have to
that's-
engage with real world banks. They have
But
to.
not all of them, though, right? Like that. Again, I'm not 100% familiar on how exactly they work, but they typically, in my opinion, would probably have a
Amish are
head
about
up.
their money, brother.
Yeah, but
they're about
they would
their-
have one or two people that are kind of in control of the funds and stuff like that. No, or do
I
I?
don't
understand?
know.
Uh,
They,
I
they
don't-
might have
I don't know
Amish
either.
banks.
I don't know about Amish banks, but there's a lot of Amish where, like, if you go up like towards Cleveland from where I'm from, there's a lot of Amish. They hire them a lot to do work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My experience is that it's really like more of a family to family type deal, and then they have
Mhm.
one big community. I'm sure there's like a chosen leader, or maybe multiple representatives, but it really seems like they operate on a family to family basis.
And in a lot of those situations,
Mhm.
right? You when you have again, I could be wrong, but in a lot of those situations, a lot of those family members aren't necessarily they don't fully understand what the outside world is and what exactly is there to offer because you've been raised in this society basically
Mhm.
that is the societal norm for them. So there is
Yes,
no,
I am saying that.
So
That's a
there's-
societal norm for them.
so in the
So
same
it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
to them or I mean it's
We think it wouldn't be a great way to live,
exactly.
but it's perfectly normal for them.
So to that point, I don't believe again. I think what you said does have some like truth to it, but I do think there's a lot of smaller things like that don't allow people to kind of leave their situation or move to a better one. And on top of that, we especially nowadays have a lot of issues with immigration, right?
Mhm.
So there is quite a few problems when people try to leave, especially when they come from poorer kind of countries or situations.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. This is just going off the dome, but I would assume that there's a lot more struggles to acclimate and kind of adjust to the newer life, especially if you're coming from something that's
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
that like of the lower kind of level. I'm not sure if what I just said makes sense.
No,
but
I understand what you
do
said.
believe that it's not as easy as just getting up and changing your situation.
No, that probably came off wrong by me because I meant it more as they don't want to choose what we have. They're happy with what their culture is. And like the Amish, or most of them, not all of them, because a lot of kids leave more than used to, but they want that. And the people that I'm talking about and they want to be in their tribes. That's what they know for generations of grandfather and it's not our business to say that they need to change that. No matter how much technology advances or anything like that, that if they want to live like that, that's perfectly normal because it's perfectly normal to them
Mm-hmm.
and has been.
I think it comes down to just what your overall quality of life
Yeah.
is. Like, even if you're, like you said, carrying buckets of water back and forth to your house or your village, but if you're still happy and you
Yes.
enjoy what you're doing, like then who, like you
Yes.
said, who are we to say like what happiness is to you?
Yeah, that's much better. Thank you for helping me refine it, both of you.
No problem.
But yeah, that's kind of it. That's just goes back to live and let live, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Live and let live.
Who knows? Maybe they see things that the way that we live, and they're just like, oh, how are they happy? How do they enjoy stuff like that? I mean, I can't say for certain, but I have to imagine with all different perspectives in the world, some people might feel that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good point, and that's a good point to end on too. I think we loaded it up for today and did good, and focused on things and had real conversations and real talk. So I appreciate that. Very good. Appreciate it, both of you. All right. I am, even though I'm getting married Saturday, I will be here on Friday. And we're leaving for Maui on Tuesday. So I will be here on Friday. I will be here on Monday. And I ask that you come back and join us too, right here. The Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm